Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Give me a 9-minute chat if I can be heard, family. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Good to see y'all in the building. Good to be seen. Bless up. Y'all see what we got up on the board, the book of Divinity. System and Order of the Spirit World, Part 5. We're going to go ahead and land this tour today. It's been a 5-part series. You dig? If you're just not getting in, jump on back to Part 1. Jump on back to Part 1 if you need to see where we at today. Very, very interesting system and order set up and all that. Dealing with what you can't see now. And dealing with where we all know we got to go. Everyone has to cross the threshold of what they call death. You feel me? So out of all the spiritual text in the world or in the earth, you feel me? Why is it that when it comes down to what you're going to be doing, where we all going, what we're going to be doing when we get there? The answers are real vague. They're vague. You really don't know what you're going to be doing when you get to where we all got to go. We all got to cross over, right? So what you going to be doing when you get there? Now, I'm going on the trip. I'm going on vacation. Yeah, you know, me and wifey going on vacation. Where y'all going, man? Fort Lauderdale. Oh, okay. Yeah, what y'all going to do when y'all get there? I ain't even thought that far. That's how silly that sounds. How is it that none of us have a clue about what we're going to be doing when we get to where we all got to go? It's like us all being on a plane. Where we going? Belize. That's what's up. What we going to be doing when we get there? I ain't even thought that far. Or it's real vague, like, you know, studying cloud patterns or something. Like it's real vague. You know what I mean? Nothing, no detail, no blow by blow, no none of that. You understand? So even if you don't agree with what we bring out, you feel me? At least you aware. You can't unring the bell. At least you aware there's a system in order yet set up, or you already set up, where you get to where you going. You feel me? Just like it was a system in order set up when you arrived here. All right? Hospitals, nurseries, and you got guardians or your parents, and you know what I mean? Physicians and schools and factories and yeah. There's a system in order. You continue to develop and grow. You understand? Now, who wouldn't want to know about that? You feel what I'm saying? So even if you don't agree, that's fine. You ain't got to agree with nothing we talk about. But at least you aware. You don't got to believe that them little cats at the corner. Yeah. They live that life. So be careful walking past there because you know you might be fooled. You ain't gotta believe me when I tell you that. But guess what you gonna be when you walk past that corner? Huh? Circumspect. You're gonna be paying attention. Dig? I don't believe what he's saying, but you can't unhear what I told you. You naturally gonna pay more attention to that corner. So it's the same thing. All we doing is provide you or giving you something to meditate on and think about. Like, dang, okay, do it make sense or don't it? It may not make sense to you. It may be like, nah, that sounds crazy. Or it may sound like, you know, yeah, bro, that's ringing right there. That make all the sense in the world. You feel me? So yeah. We about to go ahead and get it in. You feel me? I'm about to share this. Fair use, entertainment, educational purposes only. You know what I mean? Fair use. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Bless up. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Bless up. And before any shout outs, of course, the creator gets the first toast, the ever present, the all in all, the always was, is, and never shall be, the great spirit, the I am that I am, the master of all light, the all person, the ever present, the omnipotent, all that. I salute you all in the name of the mighty creator. Bless up. All right, let me show this real quick. Fair use. All right, present this. Bang. Grab this real quick. They think we playing, huh? Fair use now. No reason for nobody to be getting mad. Okay.
Throughout mankind's recorded history, we see numerous examples of mass killings and wars resulting in untold millions of deaths. And we in the West, of course, have seen our fair share of that, but we typically associate mass killings and jihad with other religions, not with Christianity, a very peaceful religion in our history, surely, and certainly not with religions like Buddhism. Atheism, of course, just doesn't believe in God. So that ideology is surely not responsible for mass killings in history, is it? Well, the evidence is quite surprising and very alarming. And I want to share with you some rigorously tested academic analysis of the mass killings in history. And I'm going to be drawing on this work, War and Peace in Islam, the Uses and Abuses of Jihad, edited by Prince Ghazi bin Mohammed, Professor Ibrahim Khalin, and Professor Mohammed Kamali. Now, this is available to read free online, and I'll link to it in the description below. And chapter 7 of this book, which I'm going to share with you, is entitled Body Count, a comparative quantitative study of mass killings in history. And it's very, very interesting. And the author is Dr. Naveed Sheikh. And I think this chapter is based on a prior academic work. And I'm just going to read to you the preamble, introduction, and his objectives in this study, and then share with you his key findings and analysis about the death toll distribution throughout history, well, the last 2,000 years at least, and which civilizations bear the most responsibility for these mass killings. Because we obviously know it couldn't be Christianity, a very peaceful religion. Certainly couldn't be Buddhism, very, very kind and peaceful religion, and so on. So let's look at the facts before perhaps we jump to conclusions. So in his introduction to this book, he writes, in his seminal work, The Clash of Civilizations and the Remaking of World Order, published in 1996, Harvard political scientist Samuel Huntington reformulated Arnold Toynbee's understanding of history as driven not only by impersonal material structures, territory, capital, population, and natural resources, but equally by interpersonal ideational structures. Ideational, there's a fancy word of saying ideas based on ideas and concepts rather than just material factors in the perhaps Marxist sense, but equally by interpersonal ideational structures such as culture, identity, communal solidarity, and civilizational association. This perception seemed supported by empirical observation and soon filled the intellectual and political lacunae which had attained particular salience in the wake of the collapse of Soviet-backed communism. Oftentimes, the restatement of religion as the single most stable ideational structure in human history was referred to as the revenge of God. This is the comeback of religion in our modern world. But for social scientists and historians, this is in the West alike, it became impossible to scientifically isolate the divine variable from terrestrial imperatives in the muddled socio-political praxis of earthlings. That's quite witty, I think, basically saying that social scientists and historians can't quite locate the hand of God, so to speak, in the actual events themselves. It's not a scientific category they can grapple with. He continues, a casual observation, nonetheless, would suggest that discursive constructions about God, talk about God, in politics, shorthand for absolute truth, have been a necessary corollary to nearly all conflictual formulations, from the substate to the trans-state levels. The intensity of this linkage and its consistency is tested in this study. Now, that's quite chunky academic scholarly language. What he's basically saying is, what is the impact, the influence of religion as such in these conflicts and other ideologies as well? And he describes in more accessible language in his objectives section. It's just one short paragraph I want to share with you because it's much more illuminating than his somewhat obscure introduction. He writes, "The present study attempts to quantify the human death toll of religious and political violence throughout the last 2 millennia and relate these to the religio-cultural civilizations. Adopting a modified version of Huntington's civilizational taxonomy, the study progresses along the following lines. Firstly, a comprehensive data list of over 3,000 violent clashes in history from the year dot, that is, the alleged year of Jesus' birth in AD 0, although we know, in fact, he was probably born 6 BCE. That's the standard view today. But anyway, he's going to compile a list of all violent clashes in history from Jesus' birth to today, or in his case, 2008. That's when this article was written. We then proceed to identify 276 of the most violent conflicts in history, all with an estimated death toll of over 10,000, and ranked them by death toll. So why 276? Well, these are the numbers of the highest death tolls, over 10,000 each. The result was then organized along civilizational lines in order to attain a comparative understanding of socio-religiously conditioned violence. The findings are represented in 4 tables, leading to a comparative evaluation of violence in different religious and civilizational traditions. So perhaps in simpler language, which civilizations, which ideologies, which religions are responsible for how many deaths in recorded history, at least the last 2,000 years. And obviously the vast majority of human beings have lived in the last 2,000 years. So that sets up the stage. Now, what he does then, he looks at, before we go to the actual data in a second, he lists 7 civilizations, as he calls them, and defines them. So he has one civilization called the atheist civilization, and he says that is located in the communist bloc. And obviously it doesn't exist anymore, certainly not in Europe, but perhaps exists in China, North Korea. So there's the anti-theist civilization. So what deaths are they responsible for in history? The next civilization is the Buddhist civilization, located in, he says, in East Asia, parts of South Asia. And then the Christian civilization in Europe, the Americas, and parts of Africa. The Indic civilization, this is found in India, Nepal, and Mauritius. The Islamic civilization, found, not surprisingly, in the Middle East, parts of Asia, and parts of Africa. The primal indigenous civilization, which is in parts of Africa and the Americas before colonization. And lastly, the Sinac or Cynic civilization, which of course is found in China and some neighboring states. So these are the 7 civilizations that he's looking at, where they're located, and he's going to see how many mass deaths in war each civilization is responsible for, according to the statistics. So in this book, now that's kind of it. We're going to go to the conclusions now, but I'll just show you, and you can see this below for yourself. You click on the link. He then goes into pages and pages and pages of table after table of wars listed chronologically by numbers. So, for example, the first event there in the table is World War II, 1939 to 1945, of course. Estimated death toll between 55 and 72 million human beings. Event type, war, obviously, and belligerent civilization. He's got Christian and Buddhist. Okay, not sure why he's got Buddhist there, but he has. And then the next one, People's Republic of China, and the estimated death toll for theirs between 44 and 77 million. And the belligerent civilization, he's put anti-theist, because obviously the People's Republic is a communist state and they're anti-religious. They closed down churches, persecuted Christians, Jews, and Muslims and others, and they're still doing that today, of course. So without going through all of these, because there's pages and pages and pages of by war, he means not just war between countries, but civil wars, of course, as well. They cause a huge number of deaths. So what are the results of his survey? Interpreting the results. So these are the results here on the page, but I'll just come to his interpretation of the results. Our findings show that using the entire data set for the period year 0, Jesus' birth date basically, to 2008, when he wrote this, for 2,000 years of world history, politically and religiously motivated violence has cost between 447 million and 706 million lives. So who's the worst offender? Because we know already that Christian civilization is very peaceful and only seeks to, Christianity is a very peaceful religion. We know that atheism is not an ideology that kills people. I'm constantly hear this on Twitter and everywhere. How many deaths does atheism cause? Richard Dawkins has asked this question. Of course, common sense, atheism hasn't killed anyone, has it? And so on. So, number one, the Christian civilization's share of this is the largest, with between 119 and 236 million victims. The median is 278. The median is kind of like halfway. So between the highest and the lowest figure, the median figure is 178 million human beings killed in the name of Christianity, a result of Christian wars. The second place, what comes in second place? Can you guess? Well, it's the anti-theist civilization, which has contributed with a median figure of 124 million deaths. So 124 million people have died as a result of atheist wars, both civil wars and wars between countries, of course. What's third? Okay, is the Sinic civilization is third with 107 million deaths. That's the median figure. The fourth is the Buddhist civilization with around 87 million deaths. Hang on, where's the Muslim? Well, surely the Muslim civilization must be here somewhere. Number 5 in this unholy list from the very worst. The fifth is the primal indigenous civilization with 45 million deaths credited to its civilization. Number 6 is the Islamic civilization with 31 million deaths. Finally, seventh and last is the Indic civilization with just under 2.39 million deaths. So by far and away the worst, if one looks at the death toll distribution on the pie chart, by far the worst cause of mass deaths in wars, in civil wars, and killings on a mass scale is the Christian civilization. In fact, those words together don't seem quite right, do they? Christian and civilization in this context. But hey, that's the language of the survey. And the Islamic civilization comes second from the bottom in terms of the number of deaths caused. So I think that is quite surprising. It certainly was to me when I first read about this. The death toll distribution is so heavily weighted. The number 1 is the Christian civilization. Number 2 are the atheists. So I'm sorry, Richard Dawkins, but atheist states, atheist ideology, atheist civilizations have been responsible for at least 124 million deaths, whether it be the Soviet Union, whether it be the Eastern Bloc, whether it be China, communist China, which is probably one of the worst and most egregious places for killing in history of the world. Islam comes 6. So that's very interesting. This book, by the way, the uses and abuses of jihad, is very interesting because it basically debunks many of the myths about jihad that we have in the West, and is written by the contents page by a whole team of distinguished scholars. on the subject. It talks about warfare in the Quran, and combat, jihad, and the Islamic law of war, about which is much misunderstanding, particularly in the West, and so on. I won't go through all the chapters, but there are 16 chapters on this subject, War and Peace in Islam, and I do recommend it. You can read it for free online. Till next time.
It may be surprising to learn
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Oh wee, boy. You mean the last video we played? We showed that biblical God in the Bible is responsible for close to 25 million deaths. Killed close to 25 million. We showed that last video, right? I think it said Satan was responsible for 10. In the Bible, Satan got 10 bodies, but God got like damn near 25 million. You know what I mean? So then we go and look at a scholarly work about killings in the name of the God. So we dealing with men now. We're dealing with religious devotees and all that. The number one at the top of that list, and we talking about the past 2,000 years. The number one out that list, Christianity, the religious devotees to the biblical God. Makes sense. He got the highest body count, right? So his devotees amongst men would have the highest body count. That's wild, man. Just wanted to show that. As we decipher through these murky waters between Creator and the gods and the Lord gods and the goddesses and who are you worshiping? Is the God of man? Is the God of angel? And if God is a man or an angel, I'm in violation because I'm worshiping man. That's idolatry. Yeah, it get thick. Yeah. This may go quick. You feel me? See, all that get done. See, once you understand, once you expose to a certain kind of light, it's like a flood. It's like the floodgates open and all type of questions get to pouring in that never were answered. That you kind of like kept stored in the back of your mind, like maybe one day I'll get that answer. You know what I mean? But when certain, that light is like a key. It unlocks the floodgates, man. You know what I mean? And then it'd be like, well, hold on, man. That did say he was wrestling a man, but he did call him God at the end of that. You know what I mean? But then over here, the prophet said the man was an angel. So angel, man, and God are the same thing. And if Jacob is wrestling a man or an angel that he called God, then he got to be wrestling his own God. He can't be in other words, he would have had to been wrestling the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He had to been wrestling his own God. So as we decipher, right? So naturally the question comes up: was Jacob wrestling the creator of all creation, the creator of all gods, or somebody else? That's what we've been doing on Facebook the past week. You know what I mean? Dropping light bombs, getting on the false gods and their religious devotees' nerves. Shout out to the Creator Gang. We can get on everybody's nerves. That's what we gonna do. We just gonna get on your nerves now. You feel me? But guess what? The conversations are starting to be, these things are starting to be spoken up now. Now hold on. Yeah, I know you hate the brother and all that, but look, that's a good ass question. That's a good ass question. Was Jacob wrestling the creator of all creation or somebody else? You see? And you start seeing a lot of brothers don't like being put in that box. And the reason you don't like getting put in that box or being put in that corner, you feel me, is because now you got to face the reality that you may have been in league with a false god that you've devoted years to, man. You know what I mean? Like, these things should be easy to answer and we should always be willing to have that type of conversation. Yeah. Let's distinguish. Let's put a difference between the creator and the gods. You see, and the only reason anybody start acting like a misfit and start fumigating at the mouth is because that spirit they've been in league with this whole time, or in agreement with, is actually a false one. Ouch. You know what I mean? Then cats take it from there, want to get personal and all that. You know what you demand? Look, it's in the Bible. So we gonna look at it and question it like we'll do with any book. You know what I mean? We ain't worshiping no book, not even no WASP. It just so happened a WASP is a higher light. That's what everybody's mad about. It's higher, man. It vibrate higher. It hit different. You know what I mean? And it's clear. It brings a lot of clarity to the confusion. You know what I mean? A lot of clarity. Like, oh, okay. And then you look at the Bible and it is actually saying that. Damn. You feel me? So here, let's get into some of this real quick. I want to show, because cats are in denial. This is one cat online like we ain't reading what we read. So let's go to the story of Jacob wrestling. All right. Let's go to the story of Jacob wrestling the God or the man or the angel. Let's go there. Let's go there real quick and see what we can extrapolate out of all that. And then of course, I would say this is allegorical anyway. I wouldn't say that this was literal. It did, but nonetheless, it still brings up, even if it is allegorical, it's still conversation. Hold on, that's a man, bro. What do you mean he saw God? And we ain't even addressing the elephant in the room. Jacob won this fight. He got injured in it. Like of course, you didn't watch boxing before, boy. You know what I mean? You can win a fight and still be injured, take a few licks and all that. Yeah, Jacob was injured in the fight, but he prevailed. He won. He came out victorious. So Jacob won a wrestling match with a man he later identified as God. And if any God, it would be his God. Let's read it. Genesis 32:24. Jacob wrestles, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And I understand this means on so many levels, rebellious Israelites. You know what I mean? We have a spirit to fight against our maker or fight against the one we are in covenant with. So I understand all the metaphorical and the symbology, and I understand all that. That ain't why we reading this. You feel me? That's not why we reading this. Look at this. And there wrestled a man. Remember that. Man. With him until the breaking of the day with his man.
Strong's 376. Ish.
Ish. Y'all don't know how to read the Ivrit, the Aleph, the Yod, and the Shin. And them dots at the bottom and the top, tell you how to pronounce a vowel. So Ish. All right, what is a man? A man is a man. A male, in contrast to woman, female, husband, human being, person, in contrast to God. Really? Servant, mankind, champion, great man, whosoever, each adjective. Ish. Man. So he was wrestling a man. All right. Let's get back to it. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Here's where Jacob gets injured. Who is the one not prevailing? The angel or the man is not winning this wrestling match. Jacob's winning. That's why the man had to touch the hollow of his thigh. Huh? Because Jacob was winning this wrestling match. The man was losing. The man that Jacob was wrestling until the breaking of the day was losing this wrestling match. And being that he was losing, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. So now he, he out of joint with it. He's injured. He's crippled. But he's still wrestling. Look at this. And he said, "Let me go." This is the man that Jacob is wrestling. And he said, this man said, "Let me go, for the day breaketh." Here comes the daylight. Let me go. And he said, "I will not let thee go except you bless me." That's Jacob talking. Jacob said, "I ain't gonna let you go at all. I got you. I got you in the cobra clutch, boy. I ain't gonna let you go until you bless me." So obviously Jacob knew he was dealing with something divine, but nonetheless he's winning, and he refused to let the God go. The God about to tap out, or the man. It's a man so far. Look at this. And he said unto him, "What is thy name?" This is what the man is saying to Jacob. And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "Your name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has you power with God and with men, and has prevailed." What does prevailed mean? What does prevail mean?
Strong's H3201. Yahol. Yahol.
To prevail, to overcome, to endure, have power, be able to gain or accomplish, be able to endure, be able to reach, to prevail over or against, overcome, be what? Victor, to be the victor, to win, to have ability, to have strength, to be the victor. Jacob won that. But you said, "No, that really don't mean that." You know what I mean? Okay, well, I'd like to look at what other scholars have said. All right, let's go into the Bibles. And if you know how to read the Ivrit, you know it says it. It's not saying something different in English. Okay, it's not. Nice try. NLT, this is Genesis 32:28, the New and Living Translation. What did it say? "Your name will no longer be Jacob," the man told him. "From now on, you will be called Israel, because you have" what? "Fought with God and with men, and have" what? "Won." Won. Jacob was the victor in the fight. He was the one that won that. It's the man that was losing or that lost the fight. It wasn't Jacob. Jacob won that fight. He was injured. He got injured in the fight. Genesis 32:29. Shot easy. You shot clear. We make it. We put it right there for you. No guesswork. No licking of the fingers. No under the table tactics. No ulterior motives. Right there at you. You know what I mean? And Jacob asked him and said, "Tell me, I pray thee, thy name." And he said, "Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name?" And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. This is where you get pineal from, like the pineal gland. Face of God. That's what Peniel, face of God, or face of the gods. That's where you get your whole pineal gland understanding from. That's why I would say, of course, it's allegorical. But understand this. Look at this. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. For I have seen who? God. Face to face. And my life is what? Preserved. God. So, hold on. Jacob was wrestling a man, right? So this leaves the question on the table. Is God a one-time man? Is God an immortal man, and is man a mortal God? Seems to be. How? Who was he just face to face with? Who was he just wrestling? Who injured him? Who blessed him? Who he refused to let go? Who lost? Who won? Jacob won that. And he said that was God he was wrestling or fighting with. And my life is preserved. I saw God and my life is preserved. You see? So of course it's all allegorical. I understand that. But look what's going on here. Man and God, according to the Bible, are the same thing. God is just an immortal man, a one-time man that lived. Now, just in case you think I'm reaching, Mally, you tripping, see, you bugged out. I'm in the Bible. I'm in the Bible. See that? Now, let's go over to the prophet Hosea then. Hosea spoke on this exact matter. If y'all getting some understanding, if that was clear that Jacob won that, if it was clear that Jacob not only won that fight, but that the man that he wrestled and saw face to face, he eventually called God. If that was clear to understand, give me a 1 up in the chat. If not, if it was confusing, give me a number 2. All right. Bro, like, no, Jacob didn't win that. For one, the post ain't even about if Jacob won per se. I got it in there, but it, just to let it be known, like this, is this the creator? Because we say that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the creator. Well, Jacob wrestled his God, called him a man. He not only wrestled him, he won. He beat him up. Hosea the 12th chapter. Hosea chapter 12, I'm going to read verses 2 through 4. Yeah, that was easy to understand. There's no ulterior motives with that. We just slowed down and looked at it. What does it say? So when bruh, shout out to bruh, it ain't no shot at him or nothing. But when he was like, Jacob didn't win nothing, bro, you jumped out there too quick. And then you post this, but you didn't post it. You ain't gonna look at the other version of it to get a clear understanding of what's being said here. The prophet Hosea understood the story that we just read. Okay, now remember, it was a man Jacob was wrestling. The man lost against Jacob. The man injured Jacob. The man blessed Jacob. Jacob wouldn't let the man go till he got a blessing. Changed his name from what? From Jacob to Israel, and told him why. You got power with God and man. What does that mean? If we understand what that phrase means, power with God and man, and has prevailed. We ain't dealing with out of that whole thing. That's what we need to be dealing with, because it's telling you who won. It's easy work now. Once we understand that is a God, is an angel, is a man. Now we got to ask ourselves, is this the creator that Jacob had in the cobra clutch or in the headlock? Gave him a noogie. Gave him a wedgie. I'm saying, like he said, look, the man that he called God said, let me go. He couldn't even get loose. And again, y'all, this ain't like you got to get like this is in Bible. We ain't even in a WASP yet. It's in Bible. You ain't making it up, but we got to slow down if we gonna make a, if we gonna really, make a distinguish or a differentiation between the creator and the gods, because there's so much confusion in these murky waters. Then we got to be real with ourselves. If you ain't really willing to be real with yourself, you ain't ready to have no conversation with Creator Gang. You're not. Because you're going to hear some shit that's going to challenge you, boy. You dig? Some things that's going to really make you say, dang, man, that's crazy. I straight was hoodwinked. You know what I mean? Straight was hoodwinked. But it's a good thing that, the mercy of the Creator allows you to see that and you're able to get better and come up out of that. You know what I mean? And assist others. That's what we here to do. We here to bomb the light, bring the light out. Megaton bomb. Set off a light bomb everywhere. You know what I mean? And make people like, man, whatever they shooting over there, that's where I'm at. That's where these cats over here squirting water pistols. They over there, boy, they done shut everything down. I'm going over there. You dig? So we here to display. We ain't here just to talk. You dig? Run our mouth. Most of us grown men and women, we ain't even got time to be lip fumbling and lip wrestling with you. You dig? Jump in the ring. Let's get it. Let's display in front of everybody what a higher light at. And we telling you, the hell with OWASP if it's telling you something different than what the Creator is showing through his creation. See how easy we can say that? You can't do that, though. That's how you know you bound. You see? You bound. Our people are religious devotees to a book, believe it or not. All right, so let's get this. Hosea 12:2. Let's show that the prophet Hosea understood what we just read in Genesis. All right, let's make sure we all good here. Bang, 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 we good. was God screaming out, hey man, man, you gotta, hey, look, you gotta bring the humor to the table with this. Because if it ain't the Creator, then nigga, who is this? You've been not dealing with your people because they ain't wearing zeets and using certain vile languages in Hebrew and wearing religious prayer shawls, and God forbid your woman put on some workout pants and went to the gym. You probably about blew all your drawers out. Religious devotees, man. No liberty. No freedom. You know what I mean? Slavery. Look at this. The Lord have a controversy. The Lord. Yeah. And by the way, there are no capital letters in the Hebrew. Anyway, the Lord hath also a controversy with Judah and will punish Jacob according to his ways. According to his doings will he recompense him. He took his brother by the heel. Not speaking of the Lord, but speaking of who? Jacob. Right? That's Genesis, the 25th chapter, speaking of him taking Esau by the heel in the womb. And by his strength, by Jacob's strength, he had power with God. What does this mean? Yea, he had power over the angel and prevailed. And prevailed. Okay, well. Notice he called, and Hosea is calling the man Jacob is wrestling with a who? An angel. Right? Jacob called the man God. Right? Look at this. Look at this right here. What the one I want? Yeah, right here. NLT, same version. Hosea 12:4. Yes, he, Jacob, wrestled with the angel and won. Jacob won that, y'all. Jacob won that. And notice, Hosea is calling the man that wrestled with Jacob an angel, but Jacob later identified that man as God. And now Hosea is saying, well, that was an angel. So the question stands. Is God, man, and angel the same thing? Is Bible telling you that? Is Bible telling you that? See, that's the real question. We don't want to or like debate you over whether Messiah was murdered through stoning or crucifixion. Nah, that's low hanging fruit. We bring your God outside. Battle of the Holy Books. Yeah. We pressing that. Anybody got something to say? We don't want to hear all that. You know what I mean? Bring your God out. Bring your God out. NLT. Hosea 12:4. Even in the womb, Jacob struggled with his brother. When he became a man, he even fought with God. Bag drop, boy. Man, so you see, what the Bible is telling you that man, angel, and God is the same thing. Now, how in the hell is the God of Abraham? Because Jacob is fighting his own God. Yo. This is Abraham's God, and this is Isaac's God. That is called a man. That is called an angel, and called God by Jacob. And according to the Genesis account and the book of Hosea, Jacob beat his own God up. So again, the question remains. Is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob the creator of all creation, or somebody else? Is the God of Abraham, is the God that Jacob, his own God that he fought, is Jacob's God the creator of all creation, or somebody else? All right. If Jacob's God is the creator of all creation, put a 1 up in the chat. If Jacob's God is somebody else, put a 2 up in the chat. Put a 2 up in the chat. Let's go get some clarity. Let's go get some clarity. Ooh wee. Yeah. They may God, Jacob's God may be somebody else, huh? The Bible tell you Jacob beat his own God up, man. That's crazy. Let that sink in for a minute. It's the same God that told Abraham to kill Isaac, according to the Bible. It's the same God supposedly created the sun, moon, and stars, y'all. Like, and see, these them places or them combos that our people really afraid to have with us. You know what I mean? Because we'll slow your ass down. Hold on. You running all them stop signs, boy. Put your seatbelt on and stop at every stop sign. Don't come to no rolling stop either. We got to catch all these stop signs from here on out. We got to understand what we're reading her. It ain't Malachi's fault that Bible says Jacob beat up his own God. That's what happened. So is Jacob's God the creator of all creation or somebody else? Yeah, you got to deal with that. You got to eat that. Right? And only being real with yourself can you elevate. Other than that, if you're in denial in any other way, you're gonna be bound in darkness. That's why these bros out here looking stupid. You know what I mean? Dealing with Sinetta, because Sinetta can easily box them in because they're in denial about what's written in their text. Only way you can get up from up under that bondage is just to be real with yourself and say, man, to hell with it. If I'm gonna believe in it, I'm gonna believe in it, but it says what it says. That's the only way you can come up out of that bondage is by being real with yourself. Be real with yourself, Jack. We gonna keep it real first. We gonna keep it real before we do anything. Before we open our mouth, before we do any of that, we gonna keep it solid. Okay? Bible says Jacob wrestled with his own God and won. Not MALAKIMAC. Bible says it. You see? You got to know what you read. That's all I've been telling people for these past few years, man. Look, just know what you read. You know what I mean? Just know everything that you read ain't of the creator. You feel me? As we slow down and get into this. Now, let's go bring some clarity to the situation. You know what I mean? Bring some clarity to the situation. Where is that? Dang. So if the Bible is telling you that God and man and angel are the same thing, you should have no problem with what we about to read right now. You should have no problem with this. All right, we in the book of discipline. OSP. OSP means sky earth spirit. I heard you millie mouth Negroes try to call OSP ocean spray. Like that don't even hit right. It's not even funny. It's like, that's the best name y'all can come up with. The one boy damn near blew his head gasket and tried to call it the orifices. Boy, ain't an R in this. You sound like ain't an R in the title. And here you go talking about some orifices. And then you got the other cats talking about ocean spray. I'm like, damn, that's the best y'all got. That's the best y'all got. And y'all got a man or an angel that Jacob called God that he put in the cobra clutch and whooped his ass. That's the best y'all got for us is to call this ocean spray. Jacob beat up his own God. Now the creator's undefeated. Creator ain't no chump sucker. You know what I mean? He ain't little Loke the creator. Is you crazy? Book of Discipline, chapter 1. God reveals who he is. This is the word from the organic heaven. Hear the words of your God, oh man. I am your brother. Headshot. I am your brother, risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Prophet in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. You see this? So God is the brother. God is a one-time man. Notice he says risen from mortality. See, so when Bible says Jacob wrestled a man that he later called God, that Hosea said was an angel, over here we not confused. You scratching your head over there because you still ain't made the differentiation between the creator of all gods and God. The creator of all lords and Lord. You see what I'm saying? You ain't understood that the gods and the lords and the angels were one time living. You know what I mean? Then they became spirits of the dead and eventually rose to a rank called God, but nonetheless still a man. You know what I mean? Not the creator of the sun, moon, and stars. There's a difference. See, you scratching your head over there. You don't understand. You over there praying to your brother. You don't understand. God, a true God, don't want your prayers or your worship. He just wants your brotherhood. That's it. That's it. See, so we can call our brothers gods. We can call our sisters goddesses because we understand that we are never worshipped. You know what I mean? But if you're going to strive to be anything, why wouldn't it be God? True God, that is. Why wouldn't a sister strive to be a goddess? True goddess, that is. Never worship. Highly advanced and high trained. And whatever our Father calling us to go handle some business dealing with a physical world, we about to go handle that business. Hence, you get phrases like archangels. You don't know arcs or time periods. Arcs are units that time is measured in. There are arc cycles. An archangel is over an arc cycle. You think it's just a cute name, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, or archangels. An archangel is an angel that's presiding over an arc cycle. See how we clear up the confusion that quick? Now you like, damn, hold on. Yeah. Now I got to pull up the arc cycles and show you. But look at this. God says, I am your brother risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Profit, benefit in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. Body blow. For as I am your elder brother, so shall it be with you. Huh? Huh? I thought Messiah says you're gonna do greater things. For as I am your elder brother, so shall it be with you. To rise also in time to come, and look back to mortals, and call them to the exalted heavens of the Almighty God. Big bro say, what I'm doing, you gonna be doing. But I'm your brother. All right. So give me a one if you understand God is the brother and not the father. Give me a one up in the chat. Look at this. God say, what I'm doing, where I'm at, you gonna be at. Salute the righteous gods and goddesses. You know what I mean? Amongst mortals and angels. Salute. All right. To Creator, to Yahweh, to Jehovah, all adoration and glory forever. Amen. So now you got God giving all praises to who? The Creator. What is that for you? Where you got in your religious text, Quran, Bible, you know what I mean? Any of your spiritual systems, where you got God paying homage to the Creator. See how we cleared it up? You hear that? You feel that? It's clarity. It's benefit, headshot. You need that. You need that. Carry that with you. You need to know the difference between God and the Creator, a Lord and the Creator. You need to know that. So you don't be a willing slave when you cross over, because again, we all headed word to the spirit world. You need to know what the hell going on when you arrive. Look at this. Look what God say about his Creator, his Father, our Father, all life, motion, power, and things seen and unseen. Or by and through him. Whom? This is God talking about his Father, our Father, the Creator. Look at this. Neither is there an angel. Now we learned earlier from Bible that man, angel, and God are the same thing. Neither is there an angel, neither is there a man, neither is there a God in heaven so high, nor sufficiently wise to comprehend the Creator in his entirety, nor to see him. Nor to see him as you see your fellow man. Oh man. Warning. Reading OWASP will expose the false gods that you've been in agreement with this whole time. Warning. Side effects are warning. Denial. What they call it? Everybody love to say it too. What's the one? Cognitive dissonance. Warning. Oh man. Look at this, man. Oh man. Nor to see him as you see who? Your fellow man. No, see, now you got to go back and look at all them passages where I saw God's ass or backside. Moses saw God's backside. But you can't see the Creator as you see a man. Or in Isaiah the 6th chapter, where he looked up and saw the Lord sitting on his throne. It was a man. You can't see the Creator as you see a man. Or in the book of Daniel, when I brought the Son of Man to the Ancient of Days, and he set him before him, and they was men. You can't, you can't see the Creator as you see a man. Who you been dealing with? We already showed earlier that Jacob beat his own God up. And now you understand that God is not the Creator. Warning. Warning. I'm trying to tell you, look at this. It says right here. Read it again. Neither is there an angel or a man or a God in heaven so high, nor sufficiently wise to comprehend the Creator in his entirety, nor to see him as you see your fellow man. This is why you can't see the Creator like you see a man sitting on the throne. For he is within all, beyond and over all, being ever present where in all places. So this can't be the ever-present creator, and you talking about you saw him sitting on a throne somewhere. No, that's a God or a Lord. It's either a true God, a true Lord, or a false God and a false Lord, but it's not the ever-present creator, the creator of sun, moon, and stars. You see that? Being ever-present in all places, doing by virtue of his presence. So what happens with the sun, moon, and stars in rotation? You know what I mean? All of it. The birds knowing to migrate, birds knowing to hibernate. It's all by the virtue of the creator's presence. Look at this. Quickening all the living, adorable above all things. As the sun is to the light of day, so is the creator Yahweh to the understanding of all the living. So as like day needs the sun in order to be the light of day, our understanding needs the creator. See, so you see how you can compare that, right? The sun is out right now, depending on where you at in this earth. The sun is out. But in order for it to be called day, the sun has to be out. In order for it to be the light of day, the sun has to be out. So as the day needs the sun, our understanding needs the creator. Look at this. And then once you know that, upon which to contemplate is the road of everlasting life, rising in wisdom, love, and power forever. You hear that? So we meditate on that. It says contemplate or meditate upon the fact that as the sun or as the day is needed or as the day needs the sun, our understanding needs the creator. Meditate on that. And if you do, you find the road of everlasting life, rising in wisdom, love, and power forever. Look at this, verse 14. No reason to disagree with this. Bible just told you that God, man, and angel are the same thing. Jacob's God is a man or an angel. Hear your God, O man, and distinguish then that the two, God and Yahweh or Jehovah or Jehovah, Jehovah. We ain't gonna fight over names, however you pronounce it. God and the creator are not the same one. Now, where you at? What spiritual text makes a distinction between God and our Father, the Creator? But Owaspi. And maybe there are other texts out there that do. You know what I mean? But you don't hear there's no difference. You even got God paying homage. You know what I mean? Giving all glory to the Creator. Right? So we're here to clear up the confusion, because God is supposed to not be the author of confusion, actually. So no reason for you to get mad over here. The Bible tells you that. Now here you come trying to explain away what we all just read. We know how to read. We know how to comprehend. Look at this. Hear your God, O man, and distinguish then that the two, God and Yahweh, or God and the Creator, are not the same one. Nor is your God more than what you shall be in time to come. So when you hear us say a peace to the righteous God, you know what I mean? We ain't committing blasphemy and we don't worship the brother. But if you're going to strive to be anything, why wouldn't it be true God of heaven and earth? Sit your monkey ass down somewhere, man. Salute to the goddesses. You know what I mean? Peace to the righteous goddesses. What you want our sisters to be inspired by sexy red and suckiana in them? Why wouldn't we throw the goddess tag on our sisters like rise up goddess? Because you see the flip side of the coin. Flip side of the coin is sexy red and suckiana. That's the flip side. It's the best it gets. Why would you be mad because we call the young prince of God? Rise up, God. The flip side is all these feminine little boys out here in skinny pants. Yeah, they may kill you, they may be murderers, but they boys. They little boys. Why wouldn't we hit them with the title God, rise up, God? Knowing what we know, knowing what we know now. Look at this. So God is saying, I ain't nothing more than what you gonna be. Whew, that's cold. You know what I mean? Look at this. First mortality, then death, which is the first resurrection. Such are the spirits of the dead, angels dwelling with mortals upon the earth, where they abide, some for a few years, some for 100, some for 1,000 or more years. You hear that? Some cross over and are bound to the earth. That's called the first resurrection. You're stuck right here. So every ghost you see, and you know, all those are spirits of the dead who have not got beyond the first resurrection. Verse 16. Second, angel organization in heaven and their abandonment of mortals, which is the second resurrection. So to get to the second resurrection, there has to be an organized body of faithists, those that have faith in the ever-present creator. You understand? While on earth. We can get this cracking now. You dig? And we start growing toward abandonment of all earthly desires. So by the time you get to the second resurrection, all earthly desires and affiliations have been abandoned. You're not entering the second resurrection. There's no crip, no blood, no alpha, no kappa, no theta, no delta sisters. You know what I mean? None of that. No, you in a biker gang. None of it. You know what I mean? All that has to be abandoned. All desire and all earthly affiliations. That's the second resurrection. So look at this. As a kingdom on earth has a king, and the king is nevertheless immortal. So in like manner, the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of angels. Hold on. The heavenly place of your God is a kingdom of angels. What you mad at old Osby for? And bro was like, man, this sounds like the figment of a heathen's mind. I'm like, bro, that right there is saying what the Bible says. Our people just afraid to admit it. So we try to explain it away. You know what I mean? So we ain't got to deal with it right then and there, right now. As a kingdom on earth has a king, and the king is nevertheless a mortal. So in like manner, the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of what? Angels. And the chief over them is God. An angel also. Oh man. So hold on. Back to the story with Jacob wrestling the man that he later called God, that Hosea called an angel. Is God, and that's in the Bible, is God, angel, and man the same thing? Huh? Give me a one up in the chat. Based off the Bible and how Waspy is clearing it up, God is just a one-time man. An angel is a one-time man. But that just called God an angel. Whew. Yet nevertheless, the kingdom of your God embraces all the heavens of the earth. It is also so with all corporeal worlds, all physical worlds, and their atmospheric heavens, a God. So you learn the system in order. Every world has an atmosphere around it. You know what I mean? And a God and organic heavens belonging to each and all of them. Now is this all? No, is this all? For there is a third resurrection, in which the angels rise still higher in wisdom, love, and power, and are sent by your God into Etheria, midway between the planets and stars, the highest of all heavens, over which there are chiefs, who are also gods and goddesses of still more comprehensive attributes. Headshot. Salute to the sisters. Huh? That was just giving you the whole system in order, the layout. The layout. It ain't hard, man. God, angel, and man must be the same thing. Just like steam, water, and ice. Just different densities of the same thing. See how we just brought it right back to science on you millie mouth Negroes who think we ain't scientific over here. We just brought God, we just compared God, man, and angel to three different, states of density, dealing with water, ice, or vapor. That's the same thing. Water, ice, and vapor are the same thing. It's still water. God, angel, and man are the same thing. It's still man. God is just an immortal man. An angel is just an immortal man. Man is a mortal God. Water or ice is solid water, solidified water. Steam is what? The vaporized water. Same thing. You get scientific on you. So yes, there are female angels and there are goddesses. Salute to the sisters. Therefore, this is what God is saying. Therefore, I am like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time man. See why you ain't supposed to praise a God? Because God is a one-time man. We just found out that the God of Abraham's God or Jacob's God is a one-time man. He called him a man. He called him a God. Hosea called him an angel. But he fought that God and won. You see, it's the same thing. Therefore, I am like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time man upon the earth, even as you are in this day, but one within the organic heavens of the earth. See, we dealing with clarity over this way. If you're getting some understanding, throw an 8 up in the chat. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up as we make a differentiation and a distinction between our creator, you understand, and any God. Any God. You know what I mean? And again, y'all, in order to not be bound by any of it, just be real with yourself. It's the only way you can do it. You got to be real with yourself first. If you ain't willing to be real with yourself, you never can receive any type of higher light. Shout out to my brother SHALOM TV. Salute to the gods. Y'all go over there, like, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean? Bro got a whole university breaking down on WASPy. Go to the playlist and take notes. You understand? Bro, I've been doing this a while. Salute to the God. Y'all go over there, like, subscribe, share. Y'all go to Creative Gang TV, CGG TV, like, subscribe, share. You feel me? With my brother Cal P. I know he up in here. Yep, Cosmon Cal. Y'all go over there, like, subscribe, share. Another brother with a plethora. So how you say that? Plethora of information. The brother's the walking encyclopedia. He be talking about stuff sometimes. I be like, boy, where is you? How the hell you wake up talking about younger Dryas? And like, who the hell wakes up talking about that? That's my bro, man. That bro is very intelligent. He handles his business. And he with all that smoke too for any mealy mouth slanderous jaw Negro to act like he want to bring his God outside. Bring him on out. I got something right. I got somebody right for you. You dig? Y'all go over there, like, subscribe, share. Salute to the God. HERBAL Lifestyles in the building. Like, subscribe, share. I dig. If my sister Intuitive Goat in the building, like, subscribe, share. If y'all see her, you dig, we getting it in. You dig? Bang, bang, bang. Oh, man. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into this. And we outside, once again, just to let everybody know, we ain't the ones that ever ran. Ever. Bronze Yoke, that's right. When y'all Bronze Yoke and Drift for Cosmo, I'm supposed to start a podcast soon, y'all. So we definitely got to make sure we tap in with them brothers. You know what I mean? Y'all let us know when that deal coming on out, man. You dig? 'Cause I'm trying to be a regular on that deal. You already know what time it is. Y'all go over there, like, subscribe, share the Bronze Yoke Report. You dig? Paradigm. Not paradigm, paradigm. Yeah, Cal P, you scratching your head like, nigga, who wakes up talking about man, Cal P wake up talking about it's massive bodies of water under the Sahara Desert. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was like, man, I'm gonna go look this shit. I don't believe this nigga talking about. Let me go look this up. Boy, headshot. It's like he ain't lying. He is not lying. It's massive bodies. evidence of massive bodies of water that used to be up under the Sahara Desert, man. I say, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all get that podcast going, bro, man. We'll break the internet with that. Y'all already know. All right, so let's get to this book of Divinity. Yeah, man, that deal a pop. Salute to my brother Shalom too. He just got a hook up with the Tubi. So he about to have his pod series, his web series on Tubi, y'all. On Tubi. You dig? So, hey, y'all make sure y'all tap in with the game. We doing big things around these parts. You dig? Let's get right here to the book of Divinity. Oh, I speed, sky, earth, spirit. Y'all stop me when y'all hear something evil. So all I'm hearing is slanderous y'all Negro talk crazy. You know what I mean? So what we gonna do? We gonna put it right in your face then. If you think we playing, put it right in your face. This is what it is. Deal with it. But we already know, knowing where you coming from, you ain't got nothing to deal with it. You're in denial right now. Yeah, cognitive dissonance for slave master. Here you go. All but the white man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is truly a spectacle. Like, this is really showing how low of a grade our people really are. You know what I mean? We low-hanging fruit right now as a people, man. Very, very low. In darkness. You know what I mean? Like, you throw that white man shit out there as if you dealing with any spiritual text written in English that the white man ain't touched or had or influenced or translated. We're not finna play the white man theory game. You ain't got no text you read in English, let alone any other version of or any other language that the white man ain't tell. What you got, he ain't got. All right. So chapter 17, y'all know what we dealing with. All right. Ahura's kingdom is being stripped of his jewels. He done failed. You dig? Chapter 17. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and work. All right. Chapter 17. But even gods fail at times. For all persons learn by failures that there are higher powers. Only Creator never fails. Y'all see that? You hear that? You feel that? Creator is undefeated. I think my sister Tikva started that one. Where my sister Tikva at? I ain't heard from that sister in a long time, man. Is she cool? Sister Tikva, if you're listening, bless you, my sister. I ain't heard from you in a long time. Look at this right here. So it's letting you know that God fails at times. All persons learn from failures. Your losses are lessons. You never lose. You just take a lesson. You learn from it and get better. You learn not to do it anymore. So in that essence, it's still a victory. All right? Only the Creator never fails. The Creator is undefeated. You see that? Wow. In the last month of the last year of HI, even while God, the Creator's Son, that's for the slanderous jaw Negro to ask me who was the Creator's Son. It's a gang of us. What you mean? God, the Creator's Son, and his Lord gods and his lords and sub gods were proud of heart that they would carry the earth and her heavens through safely. They met sore trial. So God, like, oh, look, I think we seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We should be home safe. Huh? And this is giving you wisdom to let you know, hey, don't look, never take your foot off the gas, man. Keep your guards up. All right. They met sore trials. This then is what happened. A comet came within the Earth's vortex and was drawn in, just like floating debris is drawn within a whirlpool in a river. The substance of the comet was condensed and fell on the earth in mist and dust and ashes. Consequently, the earth and its heavens were in darkness for 12 days. And the darkness was so great that a man could not see his hand before him. And during those days of darkness, there were more than, look at this. Look at this. And during those days of darkness, there were more than 80 hells founded. Them 80 hells, y'all. You think hell just one place? Watch me, you're clearing up all the confusion. More than 80 hells founded. 80 hells founded within Ahura's heavenly regions, and he himself was cast into one of them. And he was walled about by more than 3 billion angels, pilfered and stripped of all he had. And his remaining sub-gods were also bound in hell and robbed of all they had. He even got stripped. The false god and got stripped of his jewels. Stripped of everything. See, when you cut yourself off from the creator, you cut yourself off. The creator told God, because God is real close with Ahura. He told him, like, look, I know you, Jack. You ain't no God, nigga. You barely a Lord. You ain't even got the education. You barely can move currents of wind. You know what I mean? You know it's gods that can do this by just thinking it. How dare you proclaim yourself the all highest? But Ahura was like, whatever, I'm about to go ahead and do that. Creator told true God, look, let him do what he do. You feel me? Like, he ain't gonna do nothing but dig his own grave. And eventually, guess what? He got to come back and check in with me. So this shows you the creator don't got to be vengeful and vindictive and jealous. Sooner or later, everybody got to check in with the creator. Sooner or later, you got to check in. It don't matter. The false gods got to go to the creator to get substance. But when you cut yourself off from the creator of all creation, you cut yourself off from your source. That lamp you got plugged into that outlet, unplug it and see how long that light bulb stay warm. You done plugged yourself from the source. You cut yourself off. So in essence, you put yourself in hell. Creator ain't put you in hell. You put yourself there. Now the false god fall. He done failed. His throne done got jacked and stripped of his jewels. Now all his kingdoms done fail and he done got cast in the 1 out of 80 hells. Pilfered and stripped of all he had. And his remaining sub-gods were also bound in hell and robbed of all they had. And presently the spirits ran for the kings and queens' souls of those who have been tyrants on earth. And they caught them and brought them and cast them into hell also. Ooh-wee. She was coming for the kings and the queens of the earth, the tyrants, taking vengeance on them with stripes and foul smells. You heard this? Others, it ain't God or the creator that put you in hell. All anarchy breaks loose when your kingdom falls. And your one-time slaves will throw you in hell. Your enemy will throw you in hell. But the creator or God ain't throwing you in hell. They come to get you out of it. But nonetheless, you put yourself there. And they caught them and brought them and cast them into hell also, taking vengeance on them with stripes and foul smells. And hundreds of thousands of spirits went and gathered foul smells and cast them into hell and surrounded the hells on every side with foul gases so that none could escape. And remember this, the hell is in the lower heavens. It's not in the earth's crust or the center of the earth. Like, man, it's crazy. Now, hell is above your head. It's in the lower heavens. Look at this. The madness upon them became so desperate that even the tormentors rushed in. Even the tormentors rushed in. Hold on. Making a frolic of madness. And those who ever had an enemy on earth now ran for him and caught him in Hadad and brought him with the help of others and cast him into the torments of hell. You brothers is out there killing one another. No, you gotta holler at your enemy when you cross over, boy. It ain't God that's gonna throw you in hell. It's gonna be your enemy. All my little brothers in Chicago and St. Louis and New York and LA, you out here putting that pistol and spilling your brother's blood in these streets. Just know you ain't done dealing with him. You gotta holler at him when you cross over. You owe that back to the board, Jack. And trip off this, y'all some little cats. Y'all ain't killed millions of people like Adolf Hitler and Mao Tse-tung or even all the Christians or the religion of Christianity. You ain't even killed as much as them. They got major work to do. But you little brothers is out here in Atlanta, in Memphis, in Miami, Alabama bang too, yeah. You know what I mean? Man, y'all out here clowning Texas and all that. Just know whoever's blood you put in them streets, boy, you owe that back to the board. Your enemy cast you in hell, boy. Your enemy torment you. You little niggas better learn how to talk that shit out, boy. Because there's a such thing as spirit retaliation. Yeah. And guess what? You being in hell and being tormented ain't got nothing to do with God or the Creator. Think it's a game around these parts, boy. Little niggas around here acting crazy, killing each other like it's the end thing. Just know you gotta holler. You owe that back to the board, nigga. You cross over as a newborn spirit and your enemy waiting on you. And those who ever had an enemy on earth now ran for him and caught him in Hadai and brought him with the help of others and cast him into the torments of hell. And those who had been slaves for hundreds of years to Ahura and his gods. Ahura the slave master, y'all. He had slaves. Now caught everyone they could lay hands on and drag them into hell. Look what the slaves doing. The slaves is so we always wonder, well, what about our people that went through all that in slavery? They get a chance to throw Master Crenshaw ass head first into torment. How about that? Our forefathers and foremothers already got they get back. Here we over here arguing about what we gonna do about them. They already got them some get back. Which is far better for them and far worse for slave master in the spirit world because it's magnified. It's magnified. They ain't already kicked Master Crenshaw ass. You know what I mean? Whooped his ass. Tormented him. You see that? Slaves are doing this to slave master. What you mean? The system in order, or it ain't no type of vengeance in OWASP. Like some slave master just get away with this. Who told you that? We can go right here and show you slave master getting thrown in hell by slaves. Yeah, that's right. You can't forget the D, boy. Detroit, serious. You know what I mean? But the slave master gets thrown in hell by the slaves he murdered and subjugated and killed and did all types of injustice and degradation too. Our forefathers and foremothers already got get back. Here we go, 2023. You stuck arguing about what happened when they already got get back. When Master Crenshaw crossed over, he got his ass handed to him. Didn't know this was an OWASP. The slaves dragged slave master into hell, according to OWASP. According to your spiritual text, what happened to slave master? The slaves, those slave master in hell. As soon as God's messengers came and told him what happened, God sent all his available forces to overthrow the place, if possible. Vishnu, full of hope and courage, sent one half of his forces to God's assistance, thus risking the guardianship of the three great mortal kingdoms, Venu, Japheth, and Erebenia, which is India, China, and Africa. And God sent messengers to the heavenly kingdoms of North and South America, South Guatemala, saying to the gods of those places, behold, Ahura the false is involved in torments. Upon him are his hosts, 3 billion. That nigga getting jumped by 3 billion slaves, cuz. Hey, man. Yeah. See, it's just far better off just doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. You know what I mean? Look at this, man. Dang. Send all above grade 70 at once to Europa, to Europe. He sent also saying the same thing and adding, alas, my little wisdom in sending off 1 billion of my own host to Cryosheva at such a time. Cryosheva was the new plateau, difficult to access, and it was hardly possible to recall his host in the time required. So God summoned the Diva, which is the heavenly congressional body, so that they could sit for the Father's voice. And the members came and sat in the usual way. And the Creator spoke to God, saying, peace to you, my son. Do not regret having sent your most exalted host to Cryosheva. Did I not lead you there? And I said to you, possess this place and send your host here. Nor should you grieve because I sent the nebulae in the darkness of that time. Is it a greater tragedy for you to see these things than for mortals to witness the spring floods that wash away the summer's coming harvest? To learn to provide against contingencies. Boy, waspy cold. To learn to provide against contingencies. This is wisdom. Y'all see that? Huh? See how that makes sense? We should have contingencies in place or situations set up just in case. What if this happens? Practical. To learn to provide against contingencies, this is wisdom. Yet not all wisdom is in man's heart, nor yet with my God's. How can you perceive how it is with Ahura's soul, whether this hell is good or evil for him in the end? If you behold my sudden power, how much more must Ahura feel it? Like, nah, leave the false god up in there. You see, because remember, they all brothers. You know what I mean? They are brothers and sisters. They siblings. You just got a brother that went off. So they love the nigga. You know, they family. They friends, they family. They love this brother. You know what I mean? So Creator like, look, he got to feel my power though. You see that? You got to feel that power. If you behold my sudden power, how much more must Ahura feel it? For his whole kingdom is gone, and he is now in hell. Yet you shall deliver him out of hell. Look at that. See, so hell is not forever for anybody listening. Eventually, you get delivered out of it. How can it be a punishment if it's forever? Punishment is something that's given to you so you can learn to get better. You see that? Hell ain't forever. And you shouldn't get offended at that, because even Bible tell you that Jesus went to hell and delivered those who were captive. You just never knew that that's something you learn to do as a son of the Creator. You know what I mean? That's a department you go through. That's a training you go through. You learn how to deliver hell and untie hell knots. That's a training you go through once you cross over. So even Bible tell you Jesus went to hell and delivered those who were bound, right? He ain't the only son that has gone to hell and done that. All right? Even you will be doing that. You know what I mean? In time to come. Yeah, you shall deliver him out of hell by your army, your host. He and his sub-God shall be delivered, but the torments of his own soul shall be far greater than what his drudges can heap upon him. You see? His slaves jumped him, stripped him of his jewels, threw him in hell, surrounded him. And knows what the Creator say, but the torments of his own soul shall be far greater than what he going through right now. Look at this. See? Easy to understand. Then God inquired of the Creator, saying, what is the best, most perfect way to deliver Ahura and his subjects out of hell? The Creator answered him, saying, send those whom he has despised or ill-treated or humbled. Say, send his slaves. He said, what's the best way to get him out of there? Send those that he degraded. Send those he subjugated when he was in his kingdom. Send them to deliver him. You know how humbling that'll be? In order for slave master to get out of torments, he got to get out of it by his slave, the one that he subjugated all these years. Well, that ain't humbling. Look at this. Look at this. And when your lords and gods have come to the place, let these, his abused enemies, take the hand of your Lord or your God, and they shall call out to me in the name of the Creator, which name Ahura has tried to destroy for the glory of his own. And at the sound of the name of YHWH'S, or the Creator, your host shall cast burning light. Burning light. Yeah, we heard. That's what we here to do. We here to deliver hell. Deliver you out of the slavery or the bondage of your mind. This is what we'll be doing, casting burning light into the faces of the drudges, the demons, and thus scatter them away till Ahura is released. And he shall witness that he has been released through the name YHWH'S, or Yahweh, Jehovah, the Creator. The very name he tried to destroy. The very slaves he tried to subjugate and demonize. He's being released by that. And he's telling, like, look, when you get there, drop a megaton light bomb. Make them drudges scatter like roaches. Get him on up out of there. Watch this, though. It gets better. God sent Akkad and Ion to deliver Ahura out of hell. And they labored 4 years in accomplishing it. And then Ahura was free. And Ahura's hosts were divided into groups of tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands. And God appointed generals and captains over them, except for 800 million drudges who had escaped from hell and through the God's fires, and had descended back to the earth to torment and deceive mortals. Dang. 800 million demons got away when they was delivering Ahura up out of hell. 800 damn demons got away, man. Look at it. And it turned out that Vishnu failed in some degree to save the nations of the earth from the approach of evil spirits. The Creator spoke to Vishnu, comforting, saying, because you have helped to deliver Ahura, you should not take sorrow to your heart. What are 800 million to you? So Vishnu grieved no more. Now, during the deliverance of Ahura's hell, no less than 6 knots had been tied. And in one of these, Ahura and his sub-gods had become bound, so there was no escape for them. But the outer and extreme knots were untied first, and as fast as the delirious spirits were rescued, they were carried outside beyond the firewalls and placed under guard. So you got Ahura, and they are tied down, 6 knots, right? So it's just a knot is where a whole bunch of spirits are fused together and tied up, basically. So you already in hell, but you are fused together with this, like a gang of spirits, a gang of other angels and people. Like it's pure torment. You know what I mean? But God, or the Creator, is sending true God and his host to deliver hell. See, you for one, you put yourself in hell. You know what I mean? By the way you was acting when you was in this earth. And more than likely it's your enemy who you killed, or your slave who you subjugated. You dig? And after that, you get delivered out of hell. You know what I mean? So you can learn and receive your judgment. All right, look at this. Thus, in sections, Ahura's hell was cast out, and when the deliverers came to Ahura and his confederacies, they were all, except Ahura, in a state of chaos, frenzy with fear. But Ahura was not beside himself, though in serious fright. Our own Lord of Japheth spoke to him, saying, in the name of God and of Ormaz, I have delivered you. How is it with you? Ahura said, I just a bitch ass nigga. I can't get jiggy with this shit. What did Ahura say? Look how he come out of torment. Look how he come out of torment. Ahura said, I am done. I am not. Remember, he was claiming to be the Creator, the All-Highest. That's what he was claiming. Ahura said, I am done. I am nothing. One God alone can do nothing. Do with me whatever you will. I am your servant. Ahura don't want no smoke, man. He like, look, I learned my lesson. That torment was serious. You dig? But notice you ain't there forever. It's not a chestnuts roasting on an open fire forever. But the false gods will have you believe that. He said, I'm done. I'm done. Our home said, no, be servant to none except Creator. His name is the watchword and the power in all the high heavens. By his name, you should become one among godly companions. Ahura said, but you must torment me first. Ahura said, but you must torment me first. Our own said, for what reason? My work is not to cast down, but to lift up. Oof. So it is with all of Ormaz's gods. Behold, here even your sub-gods and those whom you have evilly used in the past. See, they hold up their hands in prayer to the Creator for you. You getting delivered out of hell by your slaves, boy. How humbling is that? Look at this. And is this not the way of knowing where the angels and mortals are of the Creator? If they pull down, they are not his. If they slander or torment or speak evil of one another or give pain, they are not his. Why then shall I not do good to you and restore you to your kingdom? Creator ain't with none of the madness you niggas arguing over online today, man. None of it. Ahura said, give me anything, but do not give me my kingdom again. Slave master don't want his kingdom. Look, give me anything, but do not give me my kingdom again. For of all torments, this is the worst. He said, this is worse than where I just came from. You can't give me that again. I'm cool. I tripped. I shouldn't have said that. I should have never had people believing I was the all highest or my kingdom was the all highest. I learned my lesson. Don't give me my kingdom again. This will be worse than all the torments. Ahon said, would you treat evilly those who have been your subjects? If so, you are not of the everlasting resurrection. Ahura said, no, I never want to see them again. You're like, no, man, I'm good. I don't want to see them ever again in my life. I don't want a kingdom. I don't want slaves. I don't want subjects. I'm cool. I learned my lesson. This man been humbled. This man been humbled. I never want to see them again. Never heard them again. Never know them again. If therefore you will do me good instead of evil, take me, I pray, far away and alone, so that I may meditate forever on the horrors I have passed through. Who are like, look, just leave me be. Let me go on. Let me go on to where I'm supposed to be at and leave me be. Let me take care of my business real quick. I'm cool. I don't want no kingdom. I don't want no slaves. I don't want none of it. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. It sounds like Ahura's learned this lesson, huh? If it sounds like Ahura learned this lesson, give me a one up in the chat, man. Ahura's like, man, I'm good. I don't want none of that. I can't get jiggy with this. I'm cold. You want to do me good? Let me send me off somewhere far away. I will meditate forever. You won't hear another peep out of me. Oh, man. Grit is marvelous, man. Grit is marvelous. Ahon said, hear me now once and for all. All right. Listen to me. Let me talk to you real quick. Let's see Tusk. Let me talk to you. Hear me now once and for all. And I speak in the name of God and the great spirit, Yahweh or Maz, because you have served yourself and compelled others to serve you for nearly 2,000 years. You have become blind to the Creator's law, which is that your own peace and happiness can only come by making restitution to your servants and by lifting up those whom you have cast down. Like, look, you only gonna get to where you're supposed to get by righting your wrongs, man. We all got to do that. Right your wrongs. Right your wrongs. Other than that, you're stuck. Your own peace and happiness can only come by making payment. You got to repay that. Restitution to your servants, your slaves, and by lifting up those whom you have cast down. How can I deliver you away from them? I could take your person away from her, but I cannot deliver your memory. No man can be delivered from himself. He out of hell now, receiving his judgment. Only one way is open for you, and it is under the Creator's law, which is that you shall take your kingdom again and deliver it to righteousness, intelligence, and good works, serving Creator by doing good to them whom the Creator gave you. Many of them have served you more than 1,000 years. Would you now cast them off without payment, without payback, without recompense? This boy had to run up down there an arc cycle, boy. 2,000 years. Look at this. Ahura said, you are just, O Creator. I perceive the wisdom of your gods and the bondage of men. Take me, O Aon, put me in a way to carry out this great light. Aon said, hear your sentence in the name of Maz. You hear this? Now look at the judgment. Slanders y'all Negroes, somebody ain't no judgments. Like, y'all are clearly not reading this. And you're not going to get no understanding of a wasp you trying to sound bite it to come against it. You'll lose every time. In order to successfully debate this, you would have to read it. But everybody that reads it won't even debate it because it ain't no debating it. It ain't. There ain't no debating it. All right, look at this. Our own said, hear your sentence in the name of Armaz, the creator, which is that you shall be taken to a place of safety, which a God shall select. And there your best, most exalted people shall be taken and put to work and to school and in nurseries. We talking about the system in order of the spirit world, right? And hospitals. And you shall go among them, teaching and encouraging them in industry and righteousness for the creator's sake. And when you have them disciplined in this way, you shall receive another installment of your people, and they shall be likewise disciplined, and then another installment, and so on, until you have all your kingdom. And to ensure your success, these my lords and generals and captains shall go and labor with you and your hosts. And you and your people shall have no ornaments, and all your raiment shall be white gray, teachers and pupils alike, except when specially ordered otherwise by God and his deputy. Like, look, all the bling bling, all that's off. Everybody from the teacher to the student, the slave master to the slave, got to wear the same clothes, same robe, same garment, same exact colors and all that. You talking about humbling, boy. Look at this. And when you and the majority of your hosts have risen above grade 50, you should be crowned in the name of the Creator, and your kingdom shall have a throne, and you shall be one among the united hosts of the higher heavens. To the end, go to your labor diligently, and may Armaz, the Creator, abide with you in wisdom and power. Wow. Wow. It's just, you see that? You say you'll receive a throne once the majority of your kingdom reach grade 50. Grade 50 is half the time you work for yourself, the other half you work for others. That's grade 50. All right. Half of the time you're selfish, half of the time you're selfless. See that? Real easy to understand. Ahura said, you are just, O Creator. I will from this time forward forever serve you with all my wisdom and strength. And then Akkad and his attendants led the way, and the marshals, generals, and captains brought the first installment of Ahura's host, and they went to a place called Elkin, a heavenly place capable of 7 billion. And there they founded the new colony for Ahura. But Aon and his host continued. Aon and his host continued their labors in delivering the hells until they delivered them all, more than 80, and placed all the spirits under guard and discipline. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Ahura's story don't stop there, though, y'all. I got to go over to the book of Comparative, all right? We got to go there. All right, chapter 18 is talking about when all them get delivered. And how many got delivered in each cycle and all that, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go to this Comparative next. All right, if y'all getting some understanding, go ahead and throw me a 7 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Ahura's story ain't over. Now, you see, the man declared himself, he was a one-time true Lord. He declared himself the most high God, or the highest. He called himself the creator, the all highest. Took him some flunkies and started setting up his own kingdoms and doing some soul snatching. That's what happened. And he did his thing for 2,000 years. And eventually, he got stripped of his jewels. His throne got stripped of his jewels. And he got thrown into hell and surrounded by 3 billion of his slaves and got his ass whooped, tormented. Finally got delivered out of hell and was like, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no servants. I'm sorry. I'll be your servant. Torment me, send me away. And his brother, Aon, was like, nah, this don't work like that, Jack. You break it, you fix it. You about to get your kingdom back. And you, in order for you to change what this is, you got to labor in righteousness to raise your grade and everybody around you. Once y'all get to grade 50, the majority of y'all, there will be a throne and all that. But until then, you get to work. You got to right your wrongs. You got to clean up your mess. In essence, you got to become a slave to them. Now you work for them, because until the majority of your kingdom raised above a grade 50, you stuck, partner. Right here. See, right here. So you see the system in order. You even see the justice in it all, man. And guess what we learned? If you out here putting that pistol on your brothers and sisters, you still got to deal with them. When you cross over, they get to throw you in hell and torment you, boy. Surrounded by foul, suffocating gases. And man, the good news is you ain't there forever. Eventually, you got to come up out of it. But even when you come up out of it, now you got to go through your judgment. Ahura still had to clean up his mess. And now he had to slave or labor or work to raise up the very slaves that were part of his kingdom. What he should have been doing in the first place. You see? What he should have been doing in the first place. So nobody's beyond redemption. I know some people think that, if you do something, then it's over. But nobody's beyond redemption. The Creator is saying you're responsible for your mess. You break it, you buy it, you spill it, you clean it. You wound it, you heal it. But notice it ain't the Creator or true God throwing you in hell. We learn a lot when we slow down. Learn a lot, man. But Ahura's story ain't over. All right. Book of Serpenti means daughter of Jehovah, daughter of the Creator, being the first deliverance of God's chosen people. All right, shout out to the sisters. This sister, her boy, look at this. Let's read her resume. All right, because Ahura met her. And she big sister to him. See how long this sister been around. And this was back then. Go ahead and get the calculator out. This is about to be crazy. Cal P probably already know to the exact number. Let me tell you how many years to the exact year of the earth. That's bro crazy. All right, Jehovah spoke to Serpenti, means goddess of HICKMAN, in Nirvania, in the Arcaspida. Arcaspida started in 3953 BCE, 6,000 years ago. Okay, in the Arcaspida, commander of the south fields of Abaron, in the Orion plains of Bilowichian, of a reign of what? 200,000 years. So 200,000. Read this sister's resume, man. This is crazy. Surveyor for Otaeus, 10,000 plus 10,000 plus. Leader of the Oxian, 70,000 years. Good night, boy. Sister ain't playing. Captain of Gilead's roadways in the forest of Luga, 20,000 years. Dang. Plus. Founder and ruler of Isis, 30,000 years plus 30,000. This big sis, boy. Dang. Trencher of HICKMAN swamps for 4,000 years. Hold on. 4,000. I'm tripping. Plus 4,000. Goddess of Noah, goddess of Eugenie, goddess of Pontu, each 10,000 years. So another 30,000 years. That's 364,000 years, man. Back then. And then that's 6,000 years ago. So add another 6,000 plus 6,000. That's crazy. It's 370,000 years, man. Good night, boy. Boy, you see sissing them resume? Good night. That is crazy. That's 370,000 years, y'all. So this is what the Creator is saying to Serpenti, saying, my daughter, behold the red star. The red star is the earth. Behold the red star in her heavens. Lords come your way. She will cross the Arc of Speda 4 years and 32 days riding. Open your fields in Abiram and give her 40 years indulgence, for this is the first of her deliverance. Serpenti answers, saying, I see the red star of the earth, O Creator, like a wandering ship in a wide ocean. She comes through my fields, the young earth, traveling on, carefully in the roads of Salk Walker, like Sauce Walker. Has she so soon, in just little more than 60,000 years, overcome her enduring knots and torturing hells? In your wisdom and prayer, O Creator, I will go in person to this physical world and encourage her God and Lords for the excellent labor done. Creator said, that's what Creator told Serpenti to do. Creator said, call your council and proclaim from my throne the feast of the Ark of Speda. The Serpenti called her high council of 100 million sons and daughters of the Creator. She ascended to her place in the center of the throne of the Great Spirit. All right, now I'm about to jump over to chapter 6. We still talking about Ahura. All right. We still talking about Ahura. All right. Right here. Chapter 6. All right, so Ahura meets Serpenti. Remember, his judgment is he got to labor and raise up his subjects, and they all got to be over grade 50. Look at this. Chapter 6, Serpenti. In the beginning of the second year of Serpenti in Cryosopher, messengers came before the Creator's throne. You see that? See, Serpenti is sitting on that throne, but it's the Creator's throne. God sits on the throne, but that's not the Creator. Serpenti is not the Creator. Messengers came before Jehovah's throne, saluting and greeting from Sea Tusk, who now lived under the name of Ahura, and submitted the following communication. Sea Tusk, who has become Ahura, a servant of Jehovah, and is now God of Elkin, by just judgment of Jehovah, desires audience with the most high raised Serpenti, daughter of the Great Spirit. To this Serpenti answered, greeting and love, my brother, Ahura, by the grace and power of the Creator. Come and see me, bringing your attendants. Now, after the lapse of a few days, Ahura came to Cryosopher, attended by 1 million, escorted by music, and proclaimed according to the discipline of the higher heavens. With heralds and trumpeters, see, the higher heavens are in order, y'all. They show up deep, but in order, organized. And Serpenti host received Ahura and conducted him and his host within the capital chamber. And Ahura went before Jehovah's throne, saluting on the sign's second plateau. And Serpenti answered in Nirvanian role, Sock Walker. She said, so they throwing up their signs. I find it interesting. The atmospherians and the Etherians have hand signs they throw up when they communicate with each other. They throw up certain sign language or hand signs. I say, wow, look at that. They ain't set tripping, is it? It is. In the name of the Great Spirit, whose daughter I am, I welcome you in love and high esteem. I know all your past record and look upon you as the foundation of one of the Creator's brightest sons. I have long desired that you should petition to come to see me, and I much desire to see you and greet you in the Father's name. Ahura said, O Most High Chieftainess of hundreds of thousands of years, how can I stand before you? I know you have seen many truants in your day, and watched their course thousands of years. You can see before me all that awaits me in mine, and past and the future are as an open book before you. That I have stood before you and looked upon you, I am blessed above all things since the day of my birth. Behold, the hand of the Great Spirit has appeared before me. I comprehend the only road that leads to everlasting resurrections. I know that the one all person, this is what Ahura is saying. I know that the one all person must always stand as the keynote for angels and mortals. Creator only. You heard that? Creator only. Without him, a man is like a ship without a rudder. The seas around him drive him to ruin in the end. He's like, look, if it ain't creator only, you compare it to a ship without a rudder. Your environment is going to destroy you in time to come. Blessed is he who has had the experience of this in an early day of his life. Nervous and full of fear is he who has been tried 2,000 years. Wow. Then Serpentior spoke, saying, I perceive your desires, O Ahura. I understand why you are before me. Your wisdom is great indeed. You perceive that your plateau is in the second removal from the earth. You fear that some of your hosts will forsake the creator and usurp kingdoms of their own, even as you did in the past. You desire me to raise your plateau farther away from the physical earth. Ahura said, if it is the creator's will, for this is the very reason I have come before you. Now a great light came, bright like a sun, and settled over the throne, enveloping the goddess Serpentior. And Yahweh's voice came, or Yahweh's voice spoke out of the light to Ahura, saying, my son, why have you so little faith? Behold, but you see how the creator is speaking out of the light? The creator is speaking, but you can't see the creator as you see a man. That's what we learned earlier. So when the sons and the daughters of the gods and goddesses are conversing, and it's time for the creator to speak, the creator comes down in the form of light and speaks through the light, or speaks through his son or daughter. You see that? Yeah, gang. They throwing their signs and all that, man. I'm like, why? And we need to learn some of these. I want to learn the signs. Be able to, that's dope. That's dope. I'm like, wow, everything covered, all aspects covered. Battle the holy books. Bring your God outside and debate your cause. Bring your God outside. Look at it. My son, why have you so little faith? Behold, I am with you, even as I am with this, my daughter. All you lack is faith. Y'all heard that? That's all we lack at times, man. Just a full conviction and a knowing, a knowledge that we good, that we straight. All you lack is faith. You're way more powerful than you understand. You know what I mean? Way more powerful. Look what the creator tell Ahura. Now remember, Ahura done been in hell and all that. Been through the education and all that. Go back to your plateau and raise it yourself. My daughter shall come to you and show you how, and you shall not fail. To have faith in me is to be one with me. To lack faith in me is to be far removed from me. Ahura said, oh Jehovah, teach me how to begin to have faith. To find the beginning, there is my stumbling block. The creator said, by trying me, there is the beginning. By learning to know your own power in me. Y'all heard that? Creator say, try me, judge me. What you mean? You want the beginning of faith? The creator said, by trying me, there is the beginning. By learning to know your own power in me and to know my power in you. This is the sum of the total of all power and wisdom. By the lack of faith in me, man sets up himself. By the lack of faith in me, the self-assuming gods build kingdoms for themselves. The failure of man is proof of my power. You heard that? You know what he said? The failure of man is the proof of my power. Wow. The failure of all kingdoms is proof of the lack of faith in me, which proves my power is manifested over them. First, after the abjuring of self, the denying of self, comes the constant manifestation of power through faith, the example which holds the multitude to me and my works. You say you want to get power, you got to deny yourself. Because this thing ain't nothing about being selfish. You used to hear that all the time from a self-assuming elder. I used to hear that all the time. Salvation is selfish. Salvation is selfish. Come to find out the whole time, no, it ain't as selfless. That false God ran a number on us, boy. You said we can create our own signs. You sure right. See, denial of self, though, abjuring, abnegating, turning away from, renouncing. So first, after my power is manifested over them, first after abjuring or denying of self comes the constant manifestation of power through faith, the example of which holds a multitude to me and my works. Because you have allowed fear in your soul for a relapse of your kingdom, you have opened the door for disaster. The hell with fear, y'all. That's opening the door of your soul to the disaster. What is we scared of? We shouldn't be flinching at nothing around here. Have I not proved this on earth, in which the faith of a captain leads his soldiers on to victory, and his lack of faith breaks them down in weakness and defeat? Do not think, O Ahura, that my examples are any less applicable to my gods. If therefore my daughter should come to your kingdom and raise it up, behold, she would lessen your host faith in you. For which reason you shall return to Elkin and proclaim to your people that you will raise your plateau. And though millions of them will consider it vanity and beyond your power, behold, I will provide for you so that you shall not fail. Ahura said, I perceive your wisdom, O Creator. That which you have put upon me, I know I shall accomplish through you. See, the faith then kicked in. See, he didn't say, I believe I can do it. He said, no, I know. Difference between belief and knowing something. You know what I mean? It's the difference between belief and knowing something. You believe you a man or know you a man, fellas. You believe you a woman or know you a woman, sisters. You see, there's a difference. We got to get to the point to where we know a thing. We over here going to war over belief. Belief. He said, I know I shall accomplish through you. The voice departed and Serpentio spoke on her own account, saying, you shall proclaim a day for this great work, and you shall send invitations to me and my hosts, and to my gods and lords, goddesses and lordesses. Send therefore your surveyors and inspectors, and determine whether you would raise your plateau, and you shall be provided from my host whatever assistance you may need. Ahura then saluted, and he and his host departed from the capital chamber, and rested a while in recreation with the Etherian hosts, after which they entered their ship, departed, and returned to Elkin. There Ahura appointed the day for the resurrection and sent messengers throughout Atmospheria, proclaiming what he would do, inviting gods and lords with their attendants to come and spend the day with him. Yahweh spoke to Serpentio, saying, send your mathematicians to estimate the grade of Ahura's plateau. And send your surveyors to the place he has chosen, so that your host may know the power required. And you shall provide from your own host privately suitable stationeers, so that Ahura shall not fail. For in time to come, Ahura shall be one of my greatest gods. Do y'all hear that? This a cat that was a false god, who lost his kingdom, got thrown in the hell, and now he out of hell working to resurrect his kingdom, and he's so concerned that his kingdom Elkin is too close to the earth that he gonna lose a lot of his subjects back to, the low vibratory earth. So he want to move away from the madness, similar to how you want to move out of a war zone. Ahura want to move his family or his colony or his kingdom away from all that, because he don't want it to be he don't want that to influence what he got going on. You dig? Man, this is marvelous. Y'all getting some understanding? Go ahead and throw a 3 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Bless up. Book of OISP, Serpentio, daughter of the Creator, chapter 7. We working? All these lights, y'all have to call me Mali Megaton Bomb around this deal. All this light being shed, all praising. I think I'm gonna put the megaton bomb in the name. Mali megaton bomb. Chapter 7 is the Pentatar means. So on his return to his kingdom, Ahura immediately set about accomplishing this great labor. Now there were many with Ahura who had been sub-gods, captains and generals under him while he was in rebellion against Creator and his kingdoms. And when they heard of the proclamation, they said within their souls, what? Is it possible Ahura is at his old games? For they did not know of his concert with the kingdoms above, and so did not believe in his power. Creator moved upon Ahura and induced him to send numerators and graders throughout his kingdom to take the measure of those who had faith and of those who had no faith, and of those who had neither faith nor non-faith, and Ahura graded and numbered these. So when the time came, he would know where to place them. Then he numbered the unlearned and dumb, and then the enthusiastic, and he graded them and arranged them also. When he had this much accomplished, there came to him one Anu-Hasaj. Not Anu. Not Anu. Now that's the cat that's responsible for your 7-day creation story. We'll talk about that another time. He a false god too. He the one that got the titles Lord and God worshipped in the earth. Anu-Hasaj. That nigga. When he had this much accomplished, there came to him one Anu-Hasaj, a former sub-god. And he said to Ahura privately, I love you, Ahura, and for that reason I have come to you. You shall meet only failure and disaster in your undertaking. How many times in your mighty kingdom of Cetus did the All-High fail to come to you? Ahura said, because of your love I rejoice in you, but because of your lack of faith I deplore you. How long will it be before angels and mortals understand the Father and his kingdoms? Behold, in the days of Cetus, I did not labor for the Creator, but for myself and my exaltation, and for the exaltation of my kingdom for my own ends. Consequently, the All-High did not come to answer my prayers. Now in this matter, I am doing that which is not for me, nor for my kingdom for my own sake, but for the Father's sake only. And I know he would not fail me. And Uhasha said, has it not been from the time of the ancients till now, that certain ones say that by prayer and faith all things are possible, assuring us, moreover, that by these all things are accomplished on earth and in heaven. And yet, who has not witnessed more failure than success? I do not desire to discourage you, O Ahura, but well I know the lack of faith on the part of all men, and that to get oneself weaned away from self is the weakest talent in the soul, and for which reason too it is ultimately the greatest glory. But it would seem to me to be expedient to have Serpentiar Medes and our host to do this resurrection for you. Ahura said, even your every thought I have already fulfilled. And through the chieftainess came the Father's voice commanding me to do this resurrection on my own account. And Uhasaj made no reply to this. But in his soul, he was not free from the tetrax. That's the 7 deadly desires, basically. Being jealous that by obtaining the Father's commands, Ahura had advanced beyond him. See, so you find yourself in a competitive spirit with your brothers and sisters, you dealing with the wrong type of spirit. But Ahura did not perceive it. And he said to Anu-Hasaj, the hosts of Elkin have been counted. There are 4,500,000,000. Within the grades above Assyrian, there are 170,000 schools, 230,000 colleges, 400,000 factories, and 200,000 hospitals. Behold, on the day of resurrection, I shall have the hand-old watcher recreation for my hosts. Let this then be your labor, to have the matter proclaimed throughout Elkin. And Uhasha said, by the Creator's leave and yours, I am satisfied. Thus ended the matter, but Ahura remembered later that Anu-Hasaj had not answered positive acceptance. And so Ahura feared that Anu-Hasaj might not fulfill the task. And so to make doubly sure, he called Evason and committed the same charge to him. Now, when the time came, lo and behold, Anu-Hasaj did not fulfill his part. See, he didn't do what Ahura just told him to do. But Evason did. And Evason overcame to Ahura, bringing answers from all the departments. In the morning of the day of the resurrection, Ahura sent for Anuhasaz and inquired concerning the matter. Anuhasaz said, "No, I did not issue your proclamation or your invitation. For I reasoned on the matter, saying to myself, if the resurrection is a failure, then it would indeed be better that the ignorant do not know of it." Ahura said, "To do one's own part well, is this not the highest?" Anuhasaz said, "It is the highest. And I did so, for I have done that which seemed the highest in my own sight." Ahura said, "The resurrection was not for you or me, but for the host. For you had previously admitted that the resurrection of this plateau was the highest, best thing to be done, even though it seemed impracticable in your sight. You were not justified in withholding your hand. You should have striven to accomplish that which was for the universal good." This is what Ahura telling Anuhasaz, not even whispering your distrust to anyone. Then if it had failed, your own soul would have been clear. For which reason the Creator came to me, and I was admonished for my oversight, and so assigned Evason in your place, and he has fulfilled my commands. And Ahura made no reply, but went away in displeasure, and for the present the matter was dismissed. Ahura sent invitations to the lords of all the divisions of the earth, asking them to come, bringing their attendants with them. Of these the following came, namely Oewa, Lord of HEGST, Hakapa, Lord of Paradise, Lugam, Lord of Remege, Jesse, Lordess of Speda, Ami, Lordess of Cosmon, okay, Horam, Lord of Flu, and Puesti, Lordess of Senyat, each bringing 1 million attendants, besides hundreds of thousands of visitors of lower grade. Serpenti Hermes with her visitors, Ox, Siwagan, and Ha-Oha, along with 5 million attendants. 35 million visitors came from Cryoshifa in an avalanche, a fire ship made for the purpose. The place of relocation that Ahura had decided to inherit was in the second belt below Meteoris, known in atmosphere at that time as the Varapashana, a heavenly place, uninhabited, which lay between the land of India and the star region known as the horse and cow and calf pastures. To travel from Elkin to Varapashana would take 14 hours in grade 25, which was the average of Ahura's host. But its enlargement in the upper belt would be as 15 to 9. Serpenti Hermes and her host were the first to arrive in Ahura's dominion, for she was determined that nothing would lead to failure in Ahura's enterprise. Following her advice, Ahura stationed water bearers along the entire distance of travel, lest in the excitement the drudges might run into knots or riot. For such is the nature of darkness, both on earth and in the lower heavens. The low delight to dwell in a city or near a place of filth for companionship, rather than go to a place of isolation where improvement is possible. The Creator had said to Ahura, "Do not permit your drudges to know you will be moving them so far from the earth. Confide only in the wise regarding your destination." Serpenti Hermes said to Ahura, "Provide a parade holiday for your drudges with rites and ceremonies." And Ahura perceived how the matter had to be. So he apportioned 80 million of his hosts to provide parades, rites, and ceremonies for the drudges among his hosts. Of these drudges, there were 1,200,000,000 ranking below grade 5. These niggas ain't even in the 5th grade. Being angels who do not know the left hand from the right, nor could they remember how to count to 5 from one day to the next. And yet the next billion rating below grade 12 knew only a little more and were scarcely wiser than beasts in the field. Good night, boy. So Serpenti Hermes tell Ahura, "Hey, look, come up with some parades and games, some pageantry to distract your misfits, your minions, your drudges. You know what I mean? Don't let them know we about to move, because they gonna, they like little children who don't know no better." You dig? Look at this. Serpenti Hermes, seeing these, exclaimed, "Oh Jehovah, how long must Ahura labor with these in order to raise them to grade 99? Remember, they below grade 5. And Serpenti Hermes like, "Man, little bro got a lot of work to do to get them to grade 99. Or if only they who set themselves up as gods." Look at this. This is that judgment, man. These false gods. If only they who set themselves up as gods knew what lay before them. Oh, if leaders of men knew, all the camp leaders. All you pastors and all that. Oh, if leaders of men knew. Oh, if only mortal kings and queens knew the bondage that they lay down for themselves. What a work in the lower heavens for them before they can ascend. And yet, oh Jehovah, you are just. Someone must labor with these unfortunates. It is well that man aspires to be king and Lord and God. Last chapter. We finishing up about our brother Ahura. You dig? Going over the system in order. Y'all get some understanding. Give us a 2 up in the chat. Bless up. Let's finish this on off. Battle with the holy books. Bring your God and bring his book off the porch. Bring your God and bring his book off the porch and debate your cause. It's hunting season. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Let me get some understanding. That's easy, brother. Y'all see the behavior of them drudges. A lot of the sippy cup bros act like that. Just like the damn drudge. What's wrong with that boy? Foaming at the mouth, ready to kill something. Like, man, look. Chapter 8. When all the billions of angels were assembled for the resurrection, Serpenti went and stood at the right hand of Ahura. Next to her stood Ox. And at the left hand of Ahura stood Siwagan and Ha-Oh-Ha, and the voice of Jehovah fell upon Ahura, saying, extend my lines to the 4 corners of the world. Get the highest grades into my labor. Accordingly, the marshals drew the line on the plateau, and a host of Etheria stood equally toward each corner, arranged in phalanxes of 10 million each having the form of a quarter of a circle, leaving spaces where the lines of power ran from center to circumference, and the distance was equal with the width of India, venue, on the corporeal earth. And the center of the plateau was high raised, so that Ahura stood on the highest place, which lay near the capital of the council. Now it so happened that the jealous Anu-Hasa stood 12th on the east line, being the 13th from Ahura's left hand. Serpenti said to Ahura, behold, the line is shattered. Ahura said, I feel nothing. What do you mean the line is shattered? She answered him, saying, he who does Jehovah's work must deal as Jehovah deals. Only those who are in concert with your labor with you. Only those who are in concert with you must labor with you. Only those, if we're working to do something, y'all, we all got to have the same vision. Otherwise, your best endeavors will be thwarted. Ahura said, oh, far perceiving goddess, in my much love and sympathy, I admitted Anu-Hasa to the lines. He has been my best friend. Serpenti said, you shall know only one friend, Jehovah, the creator. Whew, she checked Ahura. Check that boy. Man, you go talking about that's your friend. And he jealous of you the whole time. Serpenti so high raised, she can feel who ain't down. Right? Most women got that though. Well, women intuition, sixth sense. That intuition be spot on a lot of times. A lot of times a woman's intuition be spot on. Right? This sister told dude, like, look, everybody that you got in these lines ain't right. He was like, oh, far perceiving God, as you show right. I got Anu-Hasa out here because that's my partner. That's my friend. She said, your only friend is the creator. Check that nigga. Ahura perceived, and he now felt the shattered place. And he sent his chief marshal to Anu-Hasa to bring him from the rank. And when Anu-Hasa was before Ahura, the latter said to him, because you serve yourself, you should not stand in line. Behold, there is only one to serve, even Jehovah. And Uhasad said, a joy upon you and your scheme, because you are powerless. You have singled me out as an excuse before these gods and goddesses. Ahura made no answer, but spoke before Jehovah, saying, give me strength for your children's sake, O Father. Behold, I have cut loose the foundations of Elkin. With high extending cords, I have bound her to Verapashana. By virtue of your power in me, I will raise her up. In your name, let my host in will command. Arise upward, onward, O Elkin. Arise upward, onward, O Elkin. Arise upward, onward, O Elkin. With the third enunciation which came from the billions in concert, behold, the plateau moved from her foundation, turned a little, then slowly rose upward. Loud shouts and cheers erupted from the inhabitants of that heaven, for along with their own universal will, the great spirit had stretched forth his hand and raised up the heavenly continent. To that deal, a continent. Even as with his hand he touches a corporeal continent and sends it beneath the ocean, so also does he raise his heavenly places toward his emancipated worlds. Yes, because of his spirit upon his people, they desire it risen with them, and him all is one. And now the gods with unbroken will held their places through what was daylight for the corporeal earth. And not a god or a goddess strayed a moment of time from the single purpose and thought, nor did any distracting thought intervene, for such is the will and mastery of gods over their own thoughts. Nevertheless, to keep up the concerted force joyously, those who had the drudges in charge set the games and tournaments going with racing and music, so that there was not one idle moment for all the hosts of Elkin, nearly 5 billion. So they distracted the drudges with games and music. Upward and onward rose the great plateau, making straight course for Verapashana, who stood in the eyes of the unlearned populace as the greatest and most masterly of all the gods. One alone, even Anu-Asad, stood a while, transfixed with disappointment and chagrin, even hoping some mishap to Jehovah's proceedings. Look at him, old hater. This nigga hating the whole thing. Get your ass out of line somewhere. Go, Polar Tink Tink. Go on over there and sit down somewhere. Like the continent is literally flying, moving at this point, and you still got a problem. Even hoping some mishap to Jehovah's proceedings, and finally he went wandering about, soaring out of sorts with all righteousness. Get your ass down. Get your monkey ass out of line. You the only one over here don't even have faith or the knowledge of what we talking about. Hoping we gonna fail, y'all. You got to kick people like that out of your life. You can't be around here. You a energy. You a vampire. You an energy sucker. You a monkey ass that around here. You the only one don't see what we talking about. Yeah, get your ass out of line. He became a old wandering spirit. Yeah. Get it right here. Thus was raised the heavenly place, and no longer called Elkin, but Verapashana, home of Ahura and his host. And now, when they were securely established in the new place, and the gods and goddesses broke from their line, they all came greeting Ahura. And even in that same moment of time, a messenger came from God, who was with Brahma on the corporeal earth, bringing to Serpentior-Hermes the following commandment by proxy, namely, in the Creator's name, give a throne and crown to Ahura for me. And in my name, I promised him thus. The light came upon Serpentior-Hermes, and Jehovah spoke through her, saying, behold, the work of my hand, O Ahura, my son. From the substance of heaven, I fashion you a throne and high-raised capital. And with my own hands, weave you a crown. From this time forth, you shall be my God, and I will abide with you. Look at this. Well, one heaven of a redemption story, ain't it? One heaven of a redemption story. While the words were being spoken, the throne rose up before Serpentior-Hermes' hand, and the high-raised capital came and stood over the throne, extending beyond it. And there descended from the heavens above bowls of light and color, which in Serpentior-Hermes' fingers were shaped and woven into a crown. Look at this, y'all. and there descended from the heavens above bowls of light and color, which in Serpentiome's fingers were shaped and woven into a crown, which alighted on Ahura's head. And there went up from the host a universal shout of praise and thanksgiving. And 7 million trumpeters broke in. And after they played a while, the SNRs, or the choir members, chanted the concerted host of Creator. Thus was found that Jehovah's heavenly kingdom, Varapashana, in which Ahura established his dominions, where rebellion and succession were cut off forever. And Serpentiome's gave to Ahura 1,000 messengers and opened a roadway to Cryoshapha. Ahura ascended his throne, and the gods and goddesses saluted him, God of Varapashana, and they and their attendants departed to their various places. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. So we officially done with the book of Divinity. Not the we did read through the book of Divinity. We done read through the book of Judgment, the book of Divinity. You dig? And now we done read through the book of Discipline. We officially done with the book of Divinity today. You dig? The system and order. All right, we've been showing that this whole time. The system and order. System and order. All right. Down to you know, down to like even what you're gonna be doing and learning and training about and training in once we cross over. Got the whole breakdown for the first 1,000-some years. It's crazy, man. But it's real easy to understand. It's real easy to understand. A lot of fumigating mouth Negroes, slanderous jaw Negroes are pissed off right now, but they'll be all right. All right. Don't think we ain't got it now. Don't think we ain't got it now. Don't think we out here just pump faking now. Who think we pump faking? Who think we pump faking? Let's see the grades. The grades and ascension of spirit after death according to the grades and rates. We've been going over all this whole series. This has been a 5-part series. System and order of the spirit world. I'm gonna make a playlist of it. Y'all can go back through this and just, you know, check it out and take notes. But even if you would disagree with what we're talking about, y'all, like, look, what other spiritual system gives you a blow by blow detail? All right. See, grade 1, lowest heavens resting on the earth. Them drudges was below a grade 5. They was bound to this. Grade 25 was 1/4 way up from the earth toward Etheria. Grade 50, midway between the earth and the emancipated heavens, Etheria. Grade 75, 3/4 way upward toward Etheria. And grade 99, highest atmospheric grade of the all pure spirit. All right, to get a grade 99 simply means, show y'all that. That's a good one too. The grade 99 is, this right here is the grades of mortals and angels. Grade 99 is you serve others 100%. You don't even serve yourself, you serve others. All right. Remember, I said salvation is selfless, not selfish, selfless. All right. Grade 1, resting on the earth, you serve yourself 100%. Grade 25, you serve in self 75% and serve others 25%. So your grade is based off of what you do for others. If you serve others 100%, your grade is 99. You serve others 75%, your grade is 75. You serve others 50%, your grade is 50. Serve others 25%, your grade is 25. You serve yourself all the time, you're selfish, your grade is 1. Lowest to the highest. See, you practically apply this. It's practical. This stuff be out of people's, you know, be above their pay grade. So here's your education. Once you cross over. For the first 1,071 years, this is your training. At the Matrix. It's your training. For the first 372 years, first resurrection education. The next 699 years, second resurrection education.
See, you just then become a Lord. Lord is Lord and a God. You pray to the Lord, don't you? See that? So we got the whole system in order set up over here. We ain't guessing about nothing. No guesswork, no licking of the fingers. None of that, y'all. You know what I mean? That's what we mean. Like we ain't, these the arc cycles right here. Timetables of prophecy. Keep talking about the arc of speeder, right? We talking about today, the arc of speeder. All right, so over here you see arc. Up here at the top, arc. We go down to the arc of speeder. It's right there. Okay. When did it start? Right here, 3953 BC. 3953 to 1553 BC. It was the 2400-year arc cycle called the arc of speeder. The Etherian high-raised angel over that ark, who was in charge of that ark, is Serpenti Armage, and her title was an Orion chieftainess. And she was the one over that ark cycle doing that history of Abraham, Brahma, Poe, and Uwata. We about to go and get into this arcs, a couple arc cycles before the 22nd, though. You know what I mean? I seen some not that long ago by Gobekli Tepe, and how that's around 10,000 years ago. And I'm like, dang, that's right around the time of around 10, 11,000 years ago. And it's the oldest observatory found. And that's doing this arc cycle right here of Osiris. I say, dang, look what it is. It's the 6th era astrology and science. And Gobekli Tepe is an ancient observatory. And they saying they go back like 10,000, 11,000 years. I say, nigga, that's doing the arc right here. Yeah. Arc of day. Dang. I was like, man, this stuff keeps getting better and better. You know what I mean? That started in what, 10,353 BC? 21st arc cycle. They talking about that deal go back to 10,000 BC. I'm like, man, this stuff is crazy. This stuff is beyond crazy. You dig? Like I'm telling y'all, you start looking, like jump out there and try to disprove it. And the one little cat was talking something, he wanted to debate archaeology. I'm like, bro, you do not want to do that. You're gonna lose horribly. You do not want to do that one. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, dog. Like I just was looking at that. I'm like, yeah, go back like Tepe. And I'm looking at the time period they saying. They like, yeah, like roughly around 10,000 BC, this thing date back to. And I'm like, well, hold on. That's the arc. That's the arc right before Lu, because we know Fragapati and all them and Zarathustra was 9,000 years ago. So if you're talking about something that was around 10,000, you know what I mean, before then, like around 10,000, 9,000 BC, I'm like, that's the arc before the arc of Lu, or the arc of day. So I'm gonna go look. I'm like, Osiris, okay, dang, Orion God, and that's what was established: astrology and science. And Gobekli Tepe is the oldest observatory found in this earth right now. I'm like, bro, you can't even make this type stuff up, man. So yeah. We about to go deep into like all the archaeology and all that. But we already know Bible ain't dealing with Gobekli Tepe. You ain't dealing with nothing. Like the Bible started in well, according to them, the world was made in 3761. So anything before that, you ain't touching. You know what I mean? You ain't even ready for that type of debate. You will lose. You dig? So all right, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. Oh, that's right. You want to get that chart and all that. Go ahead and drop your email. My bad. Drop your reward or double. Drop your email. And then I'll send it right to you. Drop your email. Email us. HonorandHumilitySTL at Gmail. The name of the channel at Gmail. Email us, and then I'll just go ahead and send you them charts I got right out of my folder. I got you. If y'all got some understanding today, give me a 4 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. It's a whole series. System and order, the spirit world. Things we need to know. You need to know all that. Man, you want to be out here looking crazy. You know what I mean? That's right. Yep. Shalom got a lot of video. He got it. And look, we call them videos documentaries. Those are documentaries. He got slides on them and everything. You don't even see his face. So yeah, man, excellent. Like that's an excellent way to like kind of get a crash course in OWASP. Go to Shalom's channel. Go to his playlist. You know what I mean? That way you can get a crash course into what's really kind of going on. You know what I mean? You're gonna be studying forever. But it's a beautiful journey. I salute you in your journey. Bless up. Yeah, Kevin. Y'all see what Kevin Serious said? Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. 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 Peace to the God. Peace to the God, Kevin Serious. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Bros ain't playing. Yep. Bro, and man, look. That's why I'm trying to tell these sippy cup bros, like, look, these brothers ain't playing at all. Like, they dealing with information Bible don't deal with, don't touch. That's all I'm saying. And you ain't ready for that one. It's the truth. Yeah, I done read, but look, I've been all up and down the Bible pages. Everybody know that. So if I'm telling you, like, look, this is some information that's above Bible's pay grade. Okay, this Bible don't got this. Bible ain't gonna deal with this. You know what I mean? And that's what people don't like. They don't like the fact that there's a higher light outside. You feel me? And we dropping megaton. We dropping a megaton bomb of light every day. Mm-hmm. You gonna love us or hate us for it, but anyway, our job is just shine the light, deliver the hell. Just like we read today, then they have to deliver hell and untie some knots and get restored and get judgment and yeah. So I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. You know what I mean? All praises, glory, and honor to the ever-present creator, the all-in-all, that always was, is, and ever shall be. The I am that I am, the great spirit, the master light, the all person. I salute you all in the name of the creator. Y'all staying strong out in this deal, man. Bless up. Nothing but love and light over this way. But we about all that. Don't get mad just because the brothers respond back to you with that same type of energy. You understand? Because we with the smoke on all levels. That's what we saying. You dig? So if that ain't you, don't cry wolf. If you ain't no wolf, don't cry wolf then. You know what I mean? My old dude and them used to say, if you can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch. You can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch. Remember this, the fast lane ain't for everybody. Everybody can't ride in the fast lane. But you will catch fire in our lane because we trailblazing, Jack. Remember that. So I'm up out of here. Love all y'all indeed in the truth, man. Forever and a day. You know what I mean? Righteous, a good day to do a righteous work for your loved ones, man. And even for complete strangers. Just stop being a damn misfit all your life and do something righteous. It feels good. You know what I mean? Help out the less fortunate. It feels good. Come up with remedies for situations and problems for others. It feels great, man. You know what I mean? Sincerely labor to help raise others up. And in doing that, helping others with their salvation, you working on yours. You know what I mean? We're servants of the Creator based off the righteous service we do into His creation. All right? So it is what it is. Much love, much light, family. I'm up out here. You dig? Hey, whoever else about to go live, let me know. We supposed to got on bro and them channel, but I don't think they trying to get out today. So Anybody else about to go ahead and get on, let me know. I'm right back in this deal, full of support, shining this light all over social media, getting on everybody's nerves, punching your God right in his mouth. Bring your God punk ass off that porch, man. You did bring him out here in these streets so we can holler at him. You know what I mean? Remember, we don't want you. We want your God. Battle of the Holy Books. Create a game. You bring them, we raise them. I'm out of here.